Imagine opening your CRM on a Monday morning and instantly knowing which deals are most likely to close this month. Instead of say relying on your gut feeling, what if say machine learning could rank every opportunity that you have in your funnel based on historical sales data? That's exactly what you're going to see in this video. In this video, I'll show you how to build a sales prediction model using Python that scores every single deal in your pipeline with a probability of closing. So let's quickly dive into it. To give you a quick understanding, what we have over here is two export files from our CRM that include say the historical deal data, where you might have say your prospects or those companies that have already closed, and you have the exact activity mapped for every single prospect. Like when was the first day you connected with them, when was the last engagement date, through which source did you get that particular lead, what was the deal value in terms of say the emails that were sent, how many emails were opened, how many calls were done. You have say all of these activity data points along with that, okay, at what stage they are, whether it is closed, whether it is lost, whatever the case is, we have that as an historical data. Next up is say for example we have a data of our open pipeline. These are deals that are say still in funnel that have not yet closed and are currently in that space where we are engaging with them. So the idea over here is that to use both of these files, the historical data file to build a machine learning code that could understand patterns around it, and then the new open file to score and tell us that okay, out of these open opportunities, which are the ones that we should focus on to drive towards closure. So here's how our program looks like. Now if you see, what we have done is we have built a complete Python code on Google Colab because it's very easy to execute as well. So as different steps that what we have to do in terms of this code, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to install and import certain libraries. Now these are libraries that are important for running the entire machine learning algorithm along with giving us certain charts. So these are the libraries that we are getting loaded, and once these are loaded, as you can see over here, we move on to the next step. So step one over here is that either we can directly say integrate our CRM data onto the code, or we can export the file as I showed you and upload them over here. So the first step over here becomes that okay, there are two sort of files over here. One is the historical deals that we are going to use. The purpose of this is to train the entire model, and then the open file that is to draw the predictions from. And what we have done over here is that we have mapped on every single column that we are going to capture and we are going to utilize. So as step one, as you can see over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload my historical data file. So let's quickly upload that. So I have my historical and open data files over here. So I'm just going to take both of them and I'm going to upload both of these files. Now once this is done, I move on to the next step where it's going to read both of these files and going to give me the data that it was able to map. So it's telling me that okay, in the open file, how many rows or columns do I have, and same for historical deals, how many rows or columns do I have. As you can see, this is how the data preview looks like. Now that I know that my data has already been loaded, the next step always comes into understand whether there is any missing data in that particular file or not. So it's a quick sanity check that we are doing over here to run and understand that how many lost deals, won deals are there, is there any win rate, if we are able to calculate that, and if there are any missing values also, then we will be able to get that as well. Next up, what we would want to do is that we would want to say draw certain plots for us to understand that with the current deals that we have already won or lost, what is the impact of say the meetings versus the end outcome, or what is the average response time versus the outcome, or deal value versus outcome. So a couple of inferences that I can draw from here is that for those leads where the meeting count has been lower, there are higher losses, whereas the ones that are more engaged, that are bound to have more meetings done. And in terms of response time as well, it's very intuitive that the ones where the response time is quite quick, that's where the amount of closures that we have gotten are high. In terms of say the deal outcome, we see that there is almost minimal changes over here in terms of the deal value versus outcome. So this is certain say inferences that we are able to draw at this point for us to understand what is the data on which we would want to train or generate certain features on for the prediction model. Then comes the part that is feature engineering. Now obviously when we are building a prediction model, it's not just going to rely on our basic data points like how many meetings did you do, how many calls did you do. It'll be more on the points of multiple these data points being into picture, and then we deriving certain other data points from that. For example, right here what we are doing is that we are creating engagement ratios as one of the features that we would want to track, where we are tracking say the open rate, the reply rate, and a combination of that. Then how has the overall activity and been in terms of that particular prospect? In terms of say the demo show rate or demo funnel, how has it been? So these are certain features that we have engineered, and when we actually execute this, what we are able to see is exactly those prospects, that entire data set with the feature level data. So if the outcome is say, if in terms of say the demo show rate, it scores between 1 and 0. In terms of activity velocity, it tells me that okay, how active have we been in terms of engaging that particular lead. It gives me that particular score. And once this is done, we know that okay, these are the features on which we would want to train the model. We then move on to the next step, where we are actually giving it all the inputs, and we are dividing our data set, that the historical deal size, into two aspects. Okay. Now why are we doing is that we are going to train a part of that data into the algorithm, and part of that we are going to use for testing and seeing that how accurate our results are. So once that is done, as you can see, we have trained it on 300 deals, and we are going to test it on 100 deals, and the test rate that we are going to look at is 33%. Now before we move on to predicting, now there are a lot of models out there that are used for prediction. There is say logistic regression, there is random forest. So which one to go ahead with? So that's what we are doing over here, where we are defining that which is the particular model that will work really well to go forward with. And random forest is one of those models that we'll move forward with. Why? Because again, in one of our previous videos also we have explained how random forest considers a variation of different data points to create that prediction model, whereas logistic regression might focus only on 1 or 2 parameters to go forward. So we move forward with that, and finally after evaluating the model, what we are able to see over here is which model is more precise and is able to give us the accurate data. Once this is done, we then go forward to see which are the features that are important, that are more contributing towards this prediction or not. So as you can see this chart over here, that tells us the top 15 driving features that are showing that okay, if these top 15 things are there and at a higher end, then there is a short win probability, like email open rate, or how many days has it been since the first contact. If say the number of days between our first contact and the last contact is very long, like say if I'm connecting with a person on a Monday and then I'm following up on a Friday, then that's too long. Then I know that okay, probability of that prospect to win will be lower. Why? Because I have not been engaging them as a salesperson. So this just gives us that out of all the parameters that we are tracking, which are the ones that matter a lot. So we can say consider the top 4 or top 5 to be those that are non-negotiable for us to focus on. Then what we are doing is that at this particular point, we are now having our next, the open file that we had. So up till this point, as you can see, we have done the scoring, we have realized that what are the parameters that matter a lot. Now we are moving into the prediction bit, where the open data that we had, we are now using that to predict every single deal that is open. And once I run this, what am I going to get is a complete output that out of the total data, there are these 25 prospects which it has totally scored, wherein the priority is set as say medium to low, and it has told me what is the win probability. So as you can see, we have this particular company where the win probability is 59.3%, and this keeps on changing as and when the engagement or other activities keep on happening throughout the time. But if I'm supposed to tell you that okay, you have something like this that helps you in terms of understanding which are the companies to focus on or which are the ones that you should not spend too much time on, this actually helps sales teams in terms of understanding where to invest their time in and efforts in. Now I know as a matter of fact that these are certain companies that are in the medium range, and I can focus more towards engaging them. Whereas for the others, I can figure out that why they might be a lower chance or lower probability. And if this matches with my gut instinct as a salesperson, then I know that okay, the model is aligned with what my gut feeling is or the way I am able to evaluate things. And finally, what we can do is that we can export this data, and once this gets downloaded, what are we going to get is a quick scored pipeline which we can share with our sales team, show them that okay, for this prospect in this company, this is the probability of win, and this is what you can focus on. So this is a quick overview as to how we are using Python and machine learning to actually drive certain data driven decisions in sales. Now this was just one such example where we are using machine learning to predict sales. This is not a short model that will tell you that whether a sale is going to happen or not, but it's something that will get you closer in terms of understanding where to invest your time in. So this was about it. This was about today's video, and if you found value over here, then please do like and subscribe to our channel, and thank you so much for watching this one. See you in the next one.